Hello? Hello? Okay. This is recording one for a video essay called There Have Only Ever Been Long Takes in This Entire World, or TWISL TWIM, which stands for, that's what it sounds like, that's what it means, which is a Devi McCallion lyricism video essay. Devi McCallion's song, I Want Things to Be Beautiful, from the EP of the same name, came out last year, 2025, and ended up getting a lot of traction on TikTok, I think. I'm not on TikTok though, so that's just what I've sort of inferred through a kind of cultural milieu. As a part of my year-end music video list projects for 2025, I was also keeping a list of the animatics, AMVs, animations, etc. I came across that I thought were good, or which, could be worth taking note of, which ended up being most of the ones I came across. There was a kind of scope creep in this regard for what the list that I was keeping was for, or ended up being about like a bunch of things besides those as well. I remember in June coming across a video using the song, and I was so excited. I was like, OMG, this song I really like, someone else likes it too, which I guess obviously makes sense given sort of the flows of industry and culture surrounding these things, but still. But when I clicked on it and watched the video, I'd then see another video on the sidebar using the song, and so I, checked that one out too. And so, like a cat chasing a laser pointer, I tried to grab all of them into my paws, but they kept coming and coming, sometimes in a stream, sometimes in spurts, and every time I peeked inside my paws, I'd see there were some more that had not been gotten in. But all is to say, I learned inadvertently that the song had become popular for many other people too, for which relevant quotients are TikTok, folks, and animation meme community. Driving to therapy over the summer, I had been listening to I Want Things to Be Beautiful a bunch, one day, early in the day, like when I was driving. So the song was mulling over in my head and the like. And so in this state of thinking about it, I had grown a fascination with the lyrics. As a lover of wordplay and grammatical disregard, it seemed like the song's lyrics were making meaning in this hard to describe but potent way that seemed semi-unique to the medial qualities of music and the patterns of engagement with it. Stopped at an always long red light, I tried recording a voice message to a friend explaining my discovery/meditations. But the words came out all gummy, and it seemed to lead to a smudgy, soft frown wedged between us. A few days later, I tried again to explain my thoughts to another friend, and again was met with both with both internal and external discontent. Yeah, okay, I'll trust you on that. I wanted to drop the matter, and for a while I did, but once the new Girls Rituals album came out, and the play with homophones and lyrical iteration to the end of meaning making only increased, rushed in again, all swamp-like. And my mind has just been sloshing about. For a while I was able to drone it out with the pressing deadlines of school, but once winter break came, it just wouldn't stop dripping out of my mouth like drool. And so I guess this brings us to here, except I never found out a clean way to strike to the center of what I was trying to say back then. All I have is this slobbery hunk of end. lyrics is a setup and a payoff. Lyrics is something that's not just the words, it's how it's sung. See CJ the X's video on Encanto. There's a linear narrative logic to it. There's a repeat on loop logic to them, which can be for binge and quotidian engagement alike. Where the end and the beginning are, you can't really tell so much when you're in that sort of looping cycle listening to them. There's still an order to the words, but there also becomes not an order. Like when you say the same thing over and over again until it doesn't sound like it's supposed to, or like news program ticker feed that loops back on itself announcing what's to come, that's been, but is always good, always going around and around. And you come in at it in a moment and you can stay until it's there again, but every moment can be the moment. It's a rise and a fall, a sinusoidal crest built into the hums and shudders of life. This is how things are now, being disrupted, but not forever. But not forever is also not forever. Going through death until you confront the fact of rebirth all over again. Things mean what they sound like, but when they sound like what they sound like is not always the same. Money changes in my hands. Money changes in my hands. Yanny laurel, black and blue, gold and white, is in my hands. And even though I newly noticed this in Devi's lyricism, it is that it has always been there in a way that communication and music and choruses and verses are always having these things inscribed in them. That's cool. These things say the same thing, but what it sounds like changes. What the music that accompanies the delivery of the words is, but also what sounds that surround the listener. There are moments of overlap, moments of total alignment. Methinks the spheres are singing, but largely it's the shifting of the plates, a constant grind. My point is that I noticed this thing, I tried to explain it to a friend, and it fell into miscommunication, and I tried to explain this miscommunication to another, and still no sense was made. And thus it has been stuck on me like a thistle, like a burr, like a dandelion fuzz. It's always the same, it's always different. There's never ever been anything absolute. So yeah, something like that, if I had to guess.
Changes in my hand. Money changes in my hand. Is in my hand. Money changes in my hand. I want things to be beautiful.
And then I also originally wanted to, in my voice message, make a point about, we have learned in school these, understandings of what words mean that have there's semiotics about that, and there's the kind of inculcation into what that tradition can be, but semiotics in terms of the semantics of what language is doesn't necessarily parse the same way for what's written versus what's spoken. They have like slightly different forms, and so the meanings that they can imbue, I think, can be different as well. And in the confines of song, like the possibility for meaning making, I think is also, there's an issue of like, I was at least taught in school, in English class, for example, how to make sense and make meaning out of sentences and grammar and words, and I wasn't really taught that for music, and I wasn't really taught that for lyrics. And so when I'm listening to a song, it's like the lyrics and the words that I attach to when I'm trying to understand maybe what the song is about. But that's only like one portion of the song, and like that's also like not not still even fully engaging with them, because like as I'm trying to say, like that's not fully what they mean. Like what they mean is like what they sound like, not just like what the words are when they're written down. It's always the same. It's always different. There's never ever been anything absolute.
Nobody, body out. Nobody, body out. Nobody,
These summertime thoughts rushed swamp-like in all again. Rushed all in, swamp-like again.
If you saw my failures, then I think you'd understand. Body out.